again. As a writer and speaker, words are my currency. And yet lately I've been finding myself struggling to find those words to meaningfully encompass the depth of my sorrow and my horror and my disbelief in witnessing my homeland's destruction and the murder of over 100 of my family members. I struggle to find the words to convey the everyday realities my family and my people are enduring. Recently, I came across a post by a friend of mine and a fellow writer in Gaza called 𝓵𝓐 𝓵𝓆 who said, "I was deceived by how powerful words can be. But what I know for sure is that I stopped saying good night to my children, and instead I say to them, stay alive." 𝓵𝓐 is a Gazan mother just like I am, and her words capture the crushing, intimate, daily conversation going through the minds of our families right now. Her words pose a challenge to us all. Will we sit idly by as this mother bids farewell to her children every night as though it was their last? We must continue to demonstrate to all the people of Gaza that as we mourn the horrific, intimate details and decisions that they are forced to grapple with every day, we refuse to accept the premise and the normalization of that reality. And we are forcing a change. We must keep fighting until we see a ceasefire. We must keep fighting until we see a free Palestine. And we must keep fighting until 𝓵𝓐's stay alive turn back into good nights once again. We must pray for the dead and fight like hell for the living. I want to hand it over now to a young person. As you know, young people have been disproportionately affected in this genocide on Gaza. She happens to be my daughter, and she is going to read a piece of spoken word that she wrote called Breaking News. Thank you very much. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Breaking news. 5 Israelis killed. But of course it's us they accuse, like over the years we haven't been abused and our land used. You announce Gaza terrorist attack. But when it comes to the murder of Palestinians, your facts are all whack. And excuse me, Sir Biden, may I just say, Palestinians are owed their land and are there to stay, unlike you, who the Israeli army finds easy to persuade. So don't go sending aid to an army that loves to invade, blockade, and then persuade the media that they are right. And dear America, how can you just sit and watch this terrible sight that has families staying up the night? Or is it because these pharaohs of today have you full of fright, even though inside you, you know what's right? Dear media, Why must we show you the kids who die, acting all sly? You cover up with your lies and constantly deny the amount of us killed. And yes, I said it, killed, bombed, burned, not dead or passed away or caught in a crossfire. Or is it that you enjoy portraying us as numbers? For I notice every time we are killed, you use this conflict like lumber to fuel your stories and then forget us like we're storage in your inventories. For every family we lose, you get a chance to write a one-sided statement for your average American to be amused. Dear humanity, wake up! This might be the last cause I can give to you. Only believe what is true and demand a stop to genocide and propaganda before it's too late and people believe Israel and the U.S. got a clean slate.
We have my colleague 𝓹𝓻𝓸. He's the director of
We want America to commit to what is said on paper, that all people are created equal. And as one of those elected, as a Palestinian American legislator from the great state of Colorado, those are the same values on that paper that I took an oath to defend. It should not be controversial to demand what is said on that paper, and it should not be controversial to extend those rights to the Palestinian people. As human beings and as voters, we throw down the shackles of an unjust past and present. Throw down the shackles and show up, vote, and support the policies for peace and justice. Let us march today with purpose and passion for Gaza, for Palestine, and for the world to see that this is what the globe wants. Free Palestine!
Give it up for Colorado. That's my home state. Woo! Next up, we have Brother Hall. Next speaker is one of our favorite Palestinian American singers and songwriters, Anis.
Thank you all for being here. When I look out into this crowd, I see proof that Palestine will be free one day. So be proud of yourselves for being here. I've written a poem that I want to share with you that I feel many of us in the diaspora can relate to. It's called I Don't Feel Safe as a Palestinian. I don't feel safe as a Palestinian. Would you, now that you've seen all the terror and the trauma?
I can live forever. Truth crushed the earth shall rise again. I see it in your faces. I see it in your eyes. I see it in your hearts. I see it in your bodies. And oh, I wish you can see how beautiful you look. Isn't that the truth, my brother? Oh, yes. Beautiful you look. All the different colors and genders and cultures and sexual orientation and national identities. Why? Because you're here in the name of truth and justice, and we are going to raise our voices, put our bodies on the line, and yes, even go to jail. But when I talk about free Palestine, and one of these days it's going to happen, I may not live to see it for myself, but I know I would have done all that I could to bear witness with every bone in my body. But I want that free Palestine to be a place where we're able to bring together human beings in such a way that, yes, we would be concerned about Jewish safety and security. Nobody's calling for the annihilation of Jewish brothers and sisters, but you'll never have Jewish security. You'll never have Jewish safety if you don't have Palestinian security, if you don't have Palestinian safety. That's what we're talking about. We want equality. We want equality. We want equality.
Thank you, Dr. Cornel West.
The task force by American Muslim Task Force, by our staff. I'm so proud that we have made this a reality. I am proud that we believed in you, and you believed in us, and we believe Palestine will be free. And I am proud to tell you that this fight will continue. That does not end here. One, do you see a petition here? Tax Gaza to 21,000. Everyone, I know.
It's been 97 days of this genocide, and in the last week we've seen serious escalations from the White House with the U.S. bombing Yemen. This is a historic moment, and it certainly feels that way. I mean, what about it feels historic to you?
It feels historic because I've been part of the many rallies, many movements, but this is the first time where I've seen so many other ethnicities, so many other races, and people of every organization coming together. And it's good to know that when in times of need and in times of war, we can all stand for the same thing, which is peace. And it's just nice to see that. We saw that in the Black Lives Matter movement, and I'm happy to see that now again as well.
You know, one thing is that a lot of the sort of propaganda and the talking points of Israel don't really work anymore. I mean, I think they've really kind of painted themselves in a corner, you know, especially with this latest genocide charge coming from South Africa. Israel has tried to they've tried to write it off as like anti-Semitic blood libel, but they're kind of alone in this. And, you know, it's only really the U.S. and UK and a few other Western powers supporting Israel, but it seems like the rest of the world is for Palestine, no?
Well, yeah, we're seeing something different from all the times before, and that's because we now have different sources of news. We have different people, like actual civilians, that are able to take a video on their phone, post it, and we don't rely only on broadcasting stations that are, well, to sadly say, funded by congressmen and, you know, people that have stocks in oils and guns and things like that, and that thrive under war. We now have people that actually have family overseas and people who have friends. And I think that's why now we're able to actually say, Israel, you're full of crap, and we all see it, and we have the footage.
In the country, and he does not listen to us. There have been people who complain about, hey, you know, I went to his office and they pretended they weren't there. They closed the lights, they shut the blinds, and they weren't talking to us. Then he's been to, people have, you know, gone up to him and said, like, hey, can you please just call for a ceasefire? Well, I have people who I've spoke to personally, and they've told me that, you know, my childhood home is destroyed. I lost 15 people in my family. People have sent those stories to him, and his reply was that